What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk about the price action that has been happening, what's causing it to go down as much as it is today. I do also want to go over some updated data points very relevant to a lot of investors, and also talk about growth. More specifically, all the jobs that they are hiring and what that actually means for us as investors. But before I get into any of that, you guys know the deal. Smash a thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, let's get right to it. So as you can see on the intraday chart, it is starting to slip a little bit, largely because of this. So retail numbers, you can see the estimate was 2% and the actual retail numbers month over month was 3.8. So it definitely showed that there is a lot of capital out there and they are spending the money. So again, giving the Feds a little bit more ammunition to hypothetically raise rates, or at least more justification to do so in March. So that's something as well for us to look forward to. And so with that, I'm just going to touch on some updated data points. So I'm just going to start with short interest. Short interest is 1854, up roughly about 16% from 1 week prior. Utilization still at 100%. And so day by day change, it does look like they are increasing 0.32%, which works out to be 703,000 additional shares being shorted. Still relatively expensive for shorts to maintain their position at 11.69, which is the average. In addition to that, just want to go over some options activity for today. As of right now, only one big order with $1.16 million worth, which it is 100% positive. So that is one good thing. Versus yesterday, you can see only 18% positive with $394,000 worth of orders. And even so, I did do a video where I did talk about hypothetically things were a little bit backwards. There's a little bit more of a deviation starting to happen. So technically on very much red days, options activity were very much bullish. Versus when Lucid is up and rallying, you can see options activity is very dismal. So that's something as well to keep in mind. So overall, I'm just going to go through the new round of 13Fs before I get into the growth factor. So I'm just going to touch on this. So as of the 16th, there's only one new 13F that came down the pipeline, which they added 41%. But other than that, there was still a lot of good institutions and hedge funds that were buying in, as of you can see. But as of yesterday, there was a lot of institutions and hedge funds that did get in. Again, all typically around the high 30s as far as an average price. So that is very welcoming because it shows that a lot of institutions and hedge funds found value at those prices. So again, sometimes the retail investor needs to take a step back and realize exactly where we are. And just so you guys know, live ticker to the left, currently $28.14, down roughly about 2.5%, 2.8 million shares being traded within the first 30 minutes of the trading day, whereas the average is 53. So it does look like we're going to be in line with the average. And as of right now, within, like I said, the first 30 minutes, 259,000 shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds alone, and that's today. And you can tell that based on the block volume column. So it is going to be a very interesting day, but a great buying opportunity, especially leading up until the earnings. In case you do not know as well, the earnings is going to be on February the 28th, 2022. So again, something for us to look forward to. And if you do want to know a little bit more in depth, I did do a lot of videos on that. So make sure you guys do subscribe and take a look. So with that, I do want to touch on a lot of the growth, more specifically, like I said, about the jobs. So there was a lot of articles coming out. So right now, Casa Grande, so in Arizona, they do have 2,000 employees. They're estimating to have another additional 1,000 by the end of the year. So that's very positive. The whole part of this article is basically warning that the housing and basic services isn't sufficient in that area and that it's going to be very strained. But coming from an investor standpoint, that's more so that jurisdiction to kind of deal with that problem. So there was a lot of things that were coming out, more so about Taiwan. And I did bring up these in a lot of videos, hypothetically talking about what they could be, whether they might be for China and so forth. And so there is a lot of big titles. So you can see senior mechanical engineer, global supply chain manager. So a lot of big positions. So I was hypothetically talking about that. There was a video that did come out though a couple days ago by New Vehicle Media. And I did find this very informative. So I highly suggest you taking a look at this, but it does talk on as far as why they are hiring for Taiwan, especially more so in related to chips. Because we all know what happened to Tesla and Ford after their earnings when they gave some guidance about their future, and they all cited supply chain issues. So Lucid is doing the right thing and they are thinking forward. So right now, a lot of these positions in Taiwan, they're hypothetically, some of which are meant to make contracts to guarantee these chips and other other parts for Lucid vehicles to keep the production going, to get the 20,000 vehicles that we need for 2022. And in addition to that, they did also allude to in this video that the near term, or at least in the future, that Lucid may obtain a chip manufacturing company to guarantee the production is continuously rolling out. So coming from an investor standpoint, that's very exciting, especially considering as well in the future, there is a lot of anticipation that there is going to be continuous chip shortages, which would definitely hurt the production line, but not if Lucid is forward thinking such as what they are doing right now. So that I'm really happy about. And in addition to that, Europe is another big aspect as far as growth, and what they're doing is they are hiring same kind of position. So senior technical specialist, HR business partner. So a lot of big things going on in Europe as well. And they are all in Munich. And we all know Q1 2022, they're starting to have that Munich studio starting to open up. So again, a lot more reservations coming forward. And definitely you need a lot of HR and other positions as well to train to host these studios, which there is going to be a lot of studios throughout Europe, not necessarily just Munich, but again, there is a lot of big things hypothetically in the works for Europe. And I really do like that because Europe has a huge untapped potential. And I brought this up numerous times. Growth is one of the biggest things I'm excited for when it comes down to Lucid. And there's a lot of reasons to love Lucid, whether it be because of the tech or growth, or you just like money, whatever it is, there is a lot of reasons to like Lucid. And so technically they did recently reiterate about Europe that there is key deliveries being done in 2022. And I do believe it's going to be in the second half of 2022. Let me know in the comments below what you do believe and think about that. And so with that, those are some of the big things that they're doing. Like I said, more so on the local front, that they are hiring second shift employees. So there's a lot of big things. I'm very excited about that. And when it comes down to hiring and expansion, Lucid is definitely doing everything right. And they're hiring for the right positions, right areas, and they're doing, like I said, the right things. Especially when I did watch this video, it was, like I said, very informative, and it gave justification to a lot of these positions in Taiwan. And so that definitely did help me, and more so as well, if it is meant to actually help for the chip shortages in the future, even better. So like I said, a lot of good things happening, and even more so on the technical front as well, there's a lot of good things. Right now we're still flirting with that 200-day moving average, that dreaded one, but regardless of that, you can see that the stochastic and momentum are having good actual indicators and both showing fairly positive things. But with all that, let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below. If you haven't already, smash a thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With all that, let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.